Hey everyone, welcome to the Divorce Dispatcher, where we dive into the wildest, most unbelievable stories of divorce, breakups, and family drama. Stories that'll leave you speechless. This is the story of Layla and Irish. They thought they had it all, strong marriages that could weather any storm. But behind closed doors, each was facing challenges they never imagined. While Layla's marriage was crumbling under unexpected pressure, Irish's husband harbored a secret that threatened to tear their life apart. Two individuals, two very different stories, but both bound by the complexities of love, loyalty, and betrayal. Join us as we unravel how their husbands became the unexpected center of their shared turmoil.
Wife, 34. Husband, 36. When I married Adam, I believed in every promise he made. He was the man who would take care of everything. All I had to do was be the perfect wife. I was raised with traditional values, where my role was to manage the household and raise our future children while Adam provided. He was ambitious, career-driven, and convinced me that our life together would be idyllic. He'd work, and I'd keep the home fires burning. At first, it worked. I loved cooking, decorating, and hosting dinner parties. But slowly, things began to change. Adam's work hours got longer, his temper shorter, and the promises he'd made started to crumble. He insisted on controlling every penny I spent, monitoring the grocery budget, and questioning every purchase as if I were a child. "Do you really need that?" he'd ask with a raised eyebrow, making me feel guilty for even wanting the smallest luxury. Our dynamic shifted from partnership to control. I had no access to our bank accounts, no say in financial decisions, and every time I brought it up, he'd dismiss me. "You don't need to worry about money," he'd say. "That's my job." But it wasn't about money. It was about my independence, my voice, my right to be an equal partner in our marriage. The final straw came when I found out Adam had secretly invested our savings into a risky business venture without telling me. I was furious, not just because of the financial risk, but because it was yet another decision he made without me. I had given up my career, my financial independence, and my sense of self to be his traditional wife, and in return, he treated me like an accessory. I filed for divorce, and Adam's reaction was swift and cruel. He blamed me for everything, accused me of being ungrateful, and tried to twist the narrative to make me look like the bad guy. "You wanted this life," he'd shout. "Don't act like you didn't know what you were getting into." How do you reclaim your voice and independence when your spouse has controlled every aspect of your life? What are your legal rights when you've been financially dependent on your partner? Can you ever truly break free from the grip of a controlling marriage?
Divorce Dispatcher. You rang? Divorce Dispatcher is here to answer your questions. When your partner has held all the financial cards, reclaiming your independence can feel daunting. But there are legal pathways to protect yourself and regain control of your life. In marriages where one partner has controlled all finances, the first step is often seeking temporary spousal support during the divorce process. Courts understand that financial dependency can be a form of control, and they can order temporary financial assistance to help you transition back to independence. Gathering financial documentation is crucial. Even if you didn't have access to accounts, keeping records of expenses, investments, and any evidence of your partner's control over finances can be powerful in court. This information will support your case for spousal support and a fair division of marital assets. Emotionally, reclaiming your voice starts with setting boundaries and seeking support. Therapy can help rebuild your confidence, and reconnecting with old skills or pursuing new opportunities can give you the tools to stand on your own. Remember, your worth is not defined by your role in someone else's life. To everyone out there, have you faced a similar struggle with financial control in a relationship? How did you take back your independence? Let's discuss your experiences and share advice in the comments below. And now here is the story of Irish.
Wife 40, husband 45. When I married Tom, I thought I had found my forever. He was charming, successful, and seemed to adore our family. We lived in a beautiful house, had two wonderful children, and Tom was the kind of husband who always knew the right thing to say. He traveled often for work, but he always made time for family dinners and special weekends away. I thought I was lucky, but there were red flags I ignored. Calls he took in the other room, last-minute business trips, and the way he'd get defensive whenever I asked too many questions. One day, our daughter Ava, who was working on a genealogy project for school, decided to take one of those DNA tests. It was supposed to be a fun way to learn about our heritage, maybe connect with distant relatives, but when the results came back, they revealed something I never could have imagined. Ava had a half-sibling, a boy named Ethan who was just a year older than her and lived in another state. I was stunned and confused. I hadn't known Tom had a son from a previous relationship. When I confronted Tom, his face went pale. At first, he tried to dismiss it, claiming the test was unreliable, but I could see the panic in his eyes. Finally, after hours of arguing, he confessed that he had another family, a wife and son that he'd been hiding from me for over a decade. He married his first wife, Linda, years before we met, and he had never divorced her. Instead, he kept two parallel lives, carefully managing his time between us like a juggler with too many balls in the air. Every business trip, every late night at the office was a lie. Tom had been spending half his time with his other family, playing the role of a devoted husband and father to them, just as he did with us. I felt sick, furious, and utterly betrayed. The man I thought I knew had been living a double life right under my nose, and I had no idea. Tom begged for forgiveness, claiming he was trapped and didn't know how to choose between his two families. But I couldn't even look at him. Everything was tainted by his lies. I filed for divorce immediately, but Tom didn't make it easy. He dragged the process out, trying to paint me as the unreasonable one. He even tried to convince me to stay quiet, claiming that a scandal would destroy our children. He manipulated everyone around us, spinning a story where he was the victim of my supposed obsession with drama. My lawyer suggested that annulment might be an option since our marriage wasn't valid due to Tom's previous marriage. But as we delved deeper into the legalities, it became clear that an annulment would leave me financially vulnerable. If the marriage was annulled, it would be as if it never happened, and I could lose out on alimony, property rights, and even custody considerations. I had invested years of my life in this marriage, given up my career to support Tom, and the last thing I needed was to come out with nothing. How do you protect yourself legally when you find out your spouse is living a double life? What steps should you take to ensure your financial security when your entire marriage was built on deceit? Is divorce or annulment the right path forward when your spouse is already married?
Divorce dispatcher. You rang? Divorce dispatcher is here to answer your questions. Dealing with the fallout of discovering your spouse is a bigamist is a legal and emotional minefield. When your marriage might not have been valid from the start, the instinct might be to seek an annulment. But let's dig into why a divorce might be the better option in your case. Annulments can indeed nullify the marriage, making it as though it never happened. While this might seem appealing, especially when dealing with betrayal, there are significant downsides. Annulment can jeopardize your financial future. There's no alimony, and property rights can become murky. Plus, any custody agreements might be more challenging to negotiate if the marriage is voided. A divorce, on the other hand, recognizes the marriage and allows you to fight for your fair share of assets, spousal support, and child custody. In cases without a prenuptial agreement, this can be particularly advantageous. You've invested time, emotional energy, and potentially your career into this partnership, and a divorce proceeding will account for that. The key here is to gather all the evidence of Tom's deceit and manipulation. Document everything: emails, messages, any financial records showing his double life. This will be crucial in court, not just for your divorce case, but also to protect your rights as a parent. To everyone listening, have you faced a situation where an annulment seemed like the right choice, but you were concerned about the financial fallout? Share your stories in the comments, and remember, always consult with a family law attorney to explore every angle of your situation. Disclaimer: the information provided here is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please consult a qualified attorney in your location for specific legal advice. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Your support means a lot, and we love hearing from you in the comments. Divorce Dispatch is signing off duty. Until next time, take care.